Hello, everybody. Just gonna do a quick introduction to who I am. My name's Hunter. Um, my goal with this channel potentially is just gonna do quick, relatively quick updates on things that A, I enjoy, and B, depending on if I get views and people are requesting certain things to be either talked about or discussed. Um, I hope this is a place where people can go to and talk about pretty much anything gaming. I'm also somebody who has all consoles. I have a PlayStation 5, I have an Xbox, I have a PC. I've played a little bit of Nintendo games, so my I don't necessarily have a bias against any of them. If I'm being honest, I play a little bit more Xbox than anything, but recently just got into PC gaming and really enjoying it. Um, this video though, I've been thinking about it a lot. Um, After watching the Xbox showcase that they just had, um, coming from that, I was fairly impressed. Um, from games that I didn't even expect, to be quite honest. That Ninja Gaiden Shadow dropped, the remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it. I never really played Ninja Gaiden. I played it, the new one that just dropped, and it was actually really good. Um, but something that people were noticeably, at least disappointed about is, I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware, if you guys are relatively following Bethesda or fans of Bethesda, people were kind of expecting an Oblivion remake or remaster. Again, whatever you want to call that, we still don't 100% know. From what it sounds like, the leaks are showing that it's more of a remake. I have some thoughts on that. I'm not going to really get into it in this video, but any sort of remake or remaster of any, especially Oblivion. Oblivion is one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the first games I played that took a little bit of a learning curve. It kind of taught me how to play video games in a way. Um, any sort of remake or remaster on that, I'm all for. I If they were to drop that, I'd play it. Now, we all know Bethesda, right? Good news though, it sounds like Bethesda isn't the one remaking it. Now that might seem like a little bit of a hot take as far as why wouldn't you want the original game studio to remake the game that you loved, right? Well, I'd rather them stay focused on Elder Scrolls 6. Um, the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because the lack of Oblivion remake or remaster to me at this showcase, it kind of makes sense why they didn't show it for a specific reason to me. And I'm going to get into that today. Um, I think that there's a big plan to make that they're making with the Oblivion remaster, the remake, again, whatever you want to call it, alongside with the Microsoft June show or the summer showcase, whenever that's going to be. I believe it's going to be in June. I have a lot of thoughts on what I think is going to happen then. And I think it's a big moment, not only for Bethesda to come out and really impress people, but Xbox in general, especially with all the weird exclusivity things that Microsoft has decided to kind of drop. And I'm not the biggest fan of locking people behind consoles with certain games. Like, again, I have a PlayStation and an Xbox, and I people might think this is crazy, but I bought a PlayStation so I could play Spider-Man, and I'm holding on to the PlayStation because of the fact there's probably going to be another Spider-Man, and there's probably going to be another exclusive like a Wolverine, right? I think that's going to be exclusive. So I again, I'm not a big fan of hiding exclusives behind a certain console. Now, I do think it adds a value to the console. And I think what Xbox was doing for a while, where it was just Xbox launching with PC as well, I thought that was an awesome alternative. Where, look, it's a business. Sony's got to do what they got to do, and But you just compare Microsoft to Sony in the last 5-6 years, it's not even close. Sony has been far superior as far as getting people to stay on their console. And kind of having, I would say PlayStation has more of a hardcore fan base now than Xbox does. 360, when that was going on with all those exclusives, I mean, think about it. Gears of War. Gears of War alone is one of my, around that time where Gears 2 dropped, was insane. The 360 era was insane. So sorry, I'm kind of going a spiel, but I think because of the lack of exclusivity that Xbox is now going to have, they're going to have to do something at the showcase to show that what's the purpose of Xbox even existing at this point. And I think what's going to happen is Xbox is going to show they're going to be more of a subscription-based thing, which makes sense. I have Game Pass Ultimate. I think it's a great deal. But they're stepping away from the exclusivity, which in a way is going to kind of screw them, I think. But venturing off to more shadow drop type stuff. We've seen it with the Hi-Fi Rush game. I didn't really get into it. I get why people enjoyed it. It's probably a really good game I would enjoy, and I'm probably going to play at some point. I for some reason haven't dipped my toes into it. I'm sure that there's games out there that maybe people watching probably have similar thoughts on, where, you probably have a game in the back of your mind, and you're like, that game seems like it'd be fun, but you just don't have the time for it. Hi-Fi Rush to me just wasn't the game I had time for. But the reason why I'm bringing up shadow drops is because I think I have a really weird suspicion that Microsoft's going to shadow drop Oblivion at this June showcase. I have I'm not going to act like any sort of insider information or anything, but it would just kind of make sense. And the reason why it would make sense is because I have an idea about what they're going to show at the June showcase. Specifically, Todd Howard developed games, Bethesda. And I'm going to kind of list through things and eventually get to the Oblivion remake and why I think it's going to probably shadow drop. So one of the first things I think everybody's going to obviously expect is again, this is just Todd Howard developed stuff, is a Starfield update on the expansion, right? There's an interview that he did with Mr. Matty Plays, which he kind of said they're going to come out yearly with new DLC. Now, the last DLC Starfield came out with, dude, I got the premium edition. I have the Starfield stuff up there. I could not get into it. It was like so uninteresting to me. And again, I'm not gonna act like I know how good the DLC is, because I didn't actually play through it. I didn't. I got to the city, and then the city opened up, and there was something about the storyline that I was like, this is disinteresting to me, and that's just my opinion. I mean, if other people out there enjoyed it, and I'm happy for you. I think if anybody enjoys anything, they should just enjoy it. Who cares what other people think? But I just didn't enjoy it personally. So I think they're going to come out with some sort of video update about a Starfield expansion, and really I think an update to the game. And I think maybe I think the way they fix Starfield is to come out with a really good expansion, and they upgrade the AI or procedural generation stuff, because it's pretty terrible. But that's what I think they're gonna start out with, potentially, as a Starfield update and expansion, and then an Indiana Jones update. Now, again, this is all Todd Howard stuff. It's not Bethesda Studios or whoever's the main. I forgot. I think it's Bethesda Studios, or Bethesda Softworks. I forgot which one was the actual people that developed Skyrim and Starfield. Indiana Jones is not made by those people. I think it's made by Machine Games or something. But I think they're going to show an Indiana Jones expansion. The reason why I'm saying this is, again, it's a Todd Howard thing. He was a part of that development. He was the one that brought the idea. And I really enjoyed Indiana Jones. So I think they're going to show Starfield, Indiana Jones. a little bit before I get into the Oblivion thing. I think they're also going to show out a Fallout related thing. Not Bethesda Studios, of course, or maybe it is Fallout 76. That's now getting a good fan base. Again, that's something I couldn't get into personally. I've heard it's got a lot better. But then I also think they're gonna show off a Fallout TV show season 2 trailer. That show's amazing, and I really hope they don't butcher it. But I think that would be a good spot for them to show Fallout as well, give an update. And then I think at the end of the day, the end of the showcase, they're gonna show off the Oblivion remake. And the reason why I've said I think they're gonna shadow drop it is because there's another particular Bethesda Elder Scrolls game that they showed out about 6 years ago with a weird teaser trailer that they should have never showed to begin with. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to show, if it's a full remake, that will take up a spot. That is worthy of showing at this June Xbox showcase for Bethesda. If it's a full-on remake, that would be, in my opinion, a worthy spot for a whole new type of new game release. It's not a simple remaster or whatever that would be. If it's a remake in Unreal Engine 5, it's going to be sick. And I think they're going to have that one more thing where they're going to show off an Elder Scrolls 6. Now, again, I'm not going to act like I have any inside information on this because I don't. But I look at the timeline of stuff, and I'm thinking, why would they push back the Oblivion remake trailer, or whatever they would have, to June if it was ready to go? And it sounds like it's ready to go. Well, I think it's because they're going to show off an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. And I think with the mixed reviews of Starfield, they kind of accelerated the Elder Scrolls 6 development. I think they probably were done with Starfield and was like, wow, I actually think halfway through the development, they're probably like, wow, this isn't what we thought it was going to be. And I don't necessarily think they thought that was necessarily a bad thing. I just think Starfield was a jumbled mess with how much they were trying to do. But I think the timeline makes sense. You show off an Elder Scrolls 6 teaser trailer, where it didn't actually give any information. It was pretty much just, I think, a selling pitch to Microsoft to hype up their business value to get sold to them. But I think Microsoft at this point is probably like, hey, you guys better hurry up on this damn thing, because the last thing you came out with before Starfield was really Fallout 4. And even Fallout 4 had some mixed reviews. So, between Fallout 4 and Starfield, I guess, there was really nothing. And, it's one of those things, like I said, I don't have any inside information. Hey, I don't have any inside information on this, but I think it would kind of make sense to either show... I think it would make more sense to do this, is to show the Oblivion remake trailer with gameplay, full-on gameplay, and explaining what they're updating. And then right after, Todd Howard or whoever says, hey, by the way, we do have an update on this game that we're working on, because at this point, it's pretty much the sole energy of that company is Elder Scrolls 6. And I think it might be closer than we think, because I'm looking at it, and there's kind of contradicting information on when Elder Scrolls 6 is going to come out. There's really no concrete information at all. But some people are saying it's going to come out in 3 years. Some people are saying 2026. If I had to bet, I think it might be, again, this might be a hot take, I think it might be 2026. Or even 2025 November. So 9 months away. Now, I could be completely wrong again, but I'm looking at it. Could you imagine this? Okay, they come out with the Oblivion remake trailer, and then they show an Elder Scrolls 6, some sort of trailer on that. Now, I'm thinking how Skyrim's first trailer was, where it was kind of, it was in-game footage where your guy was running, and then the dragon comes, and then it starts showing videos of the cities and gameplay of people walking around and the combat and all that stuff. I think that that's very possible to happen, where they show the Oblivion remaster, everything, then they're like, hey, one more thing, Elder Scrolls 6, and then the shadow drop part comes in this. I think that they're going to shadow drop Oblivion and say, hey, look, pre-order Elder Scrolls 6 now for Premium Edition or whatever, where you get the Season Pass, whatever they want to call it, DLC Pass, for $100 or maybe $120. And then on top of it, they say, if you buy this edition, you get Oblivion for free with it. I think if they did that, that would completely change our mindset on Bethesda, because myself and others are thinking, wow, this if Elder Scrolls 6 sucks, if it's not good, I would say even if it's not great, if it's just a good game, it's going to be a major disappointment, and I think it's going to put Bethesda in general in danger. Not because, look, a good game's a good game, but the Elder Scrolls 6 has to be great in order for Bethesda to keep even a minuscule of credit on it. Because let's say even if Elder Scrolls 6 was great, or the next great thing, that's still the only next great thing that they made since arguably Skyrim. Because again, even Fallout 4, to me, even myself, I wasn't humongous fan. I'm looking back on the games that I really loved from Todd Howard developed people, or Todd Howard developed teams with the people involved. Now I'm starting to play Morrowind. It's kind of been on my bucket list, but I modded it on PC, so I'm able to play. But, Oblivion for me, then there's Fallout 3, and then Skyrim, of course. But even from Oblivion to Skyrim, they changed it. It became more average. And then from Skyrim to Fallout 4, it became something that, I know it's not the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The same game series, but man, they added stuff to Fallout that just wasn't, in my opinion, needed. They focused on the settlement building and all that stuff, so I'm going to cut that short on that topic. But Elder Scrolls 6, if they were to show the remake of Oblivion and shadow drop it along with a trailer of the Elder Scrolls 6 where they're saying, hey, this is coming out, they give us at least a date. It could be 2 years from now, 2026 November. So how many months is that? 18? No, more. I don't know. An X amount of months, 2 years from now, if they were to shadow drop it with Oblivion, or if Oblivion was to be shadow dropped with an Elder Scrolls 6 update or trailer or something, where it's like you could see it physically with your eyes, you could see the gameplay, and it's something that's good, that's going to completely change the trajectory, in my opinion, about Todd Howard developed stuff. Because like Starfield, I played a lot of Starfield, so I put my time in it, and it's not that I disliked the game necessarily, it's just that the game is it's kind of pointless. Everything about the game is pointless. You play through the game, and I'm not going to spoil it, there's a feature that pretty much makes everything you do from what you did unimportant. And the game, again, just felt unimportant. There were things in the game that didn't even matter. Fallout 4, one of the things, in my opinion, like they added the settlement building. What does it actually do for you? It's pointless. It's a pointless feature. Starfield has a bunch of pointless features. Everything, in my opinion, I think in Skyrim was intentional. Everything in Fallout 3 was intentional. Everything in Oblivion was intentional. And then Fallout 4 and Starfield, it seemed like a bunch of made up customization stuff that they wanted to make it feel important, but it wasn't. So I'll quickly go through again. I'll recap what I think they're going to show at this Todd Howard involved showcase. Of course, there's other stuff involved, but in my opinion, if they went through this list of things and they developed, or they hit on it, Bethesda might be able to turn their page back to where people had faith in them. Because at this point, I have no faith in them. from a standpoint of, again, I played a lot of Starfield. I bought Starfield. I have a Game Pass. I still bought it because I bought the premium edition. Again, I don't hate everything about Starfield, but it's not at all. It's exactly what I feared. There's thousands of planets with nothing to do on them. You can build settlements. It doesn't matter. It's pointless. It's pointless features. But going through these things, if it's not really Bethesda, it's more, it gives me confidence in Todd Howard to direct Bethesda to develop Elder Scrolls 6. So if they come out with Starfield expansion / update, right? They show a good expansion. I think an expansion, I would rather them come out with an update to benefit the game as far as the features on it, like really improve the procedural stuff. And you're not running into the same thing every freaking 5 minutes on every other different planet, ice planet, desert planet, whatever. You run into the same caves and the same settlement things. Like, it's stupid. So, again, sorry, I keep rambling, but if they were to show a Starfield update and expansion, that's good. And then they went to Indiana Jones expansion, and it's good. And then they showed a Fallout 76 update, that's good. And then a Fallout TV show trailer, season 2. And that better be good, because if they screw that up, I'm going to be freaking pissed off. If they did all those things and they ended the show up on a Shadow Dropped Oblivion with an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer and giving us a date of release, or at least an idea of where they're at, dude, that would be one hell of a showcase just on that. And I do think that Xbox has the capability of doing that. I can't imagine the Elder Scrolls 6 taking any longer than 2 years. If it's anything longer than, if it's 3 years from now, that's pushing it. Anything past 3 years, 4 years from now, no, that would be so detrimental to everything. I mean, at that point, 2011, 4 years from now, 2019, that'd be, am I tripping? Would that be, how many years would that be? 2019 to 20, that'd be like 17 years between, dude, that's insane. That is insane. And to put that into reference to time, I was 11 years, or no, I was 13 years old when Skyrim came out. I was 13 years old. So the time between Elder Scrolls 5 and 6 would be older than I was when I first played the game. That is depressing. That's like, what? How is that even real? How is that even possible? And look, it's hard not to look at the games in between to make you be like, was that worth it? Was it worth to make Fallout 4? Yes, it was, in my opinion. Was it worth to make Starfield and extend the time between 5 and 6 by freaking 8 years or whatever it would be? Like, no. If the game's not good, it's not worth it. The technology Todd Howard was talking about between not, we wanted to wait to make Elder Scrolls 6 so we could get the right technology. Bro, it better be freaking some good shit. Because if it's not, you're done. If Elder Scrolls 6 sucks, or if it's like just not good, if it's a Starfield version of Elder Scrolls 6, Todd Howard is done. He's out. It's his last game. I'm not trusting him with Fallout 5. I'm not trusting him with any other project. If Elder Scrolls 6 sucks, because we gave him the blessing of, look, okay, not really. I didn't give him the blessing of Fallout 4. People enjoy Fallout 4. People gave him the blessing on Starfield of, the only thing you could say about Starfield is, look, it was a brand new thing. They had to create everything from the ground up. Now, the problem with that, though, is that the cost of that was extending Elder Scrolls 6 to the point of unplayable to some of those players. Some people legitimately probably grew too old and probably passed away. And look, I'm not trying to get all depressing, but dude, I'm I'm closer to 30. I'm nearly 20 years. It's closer to 20 years than 10. Like that's my entire life. Whenever I was 13 years old. That's insane. And then like Todd Howard developed stuff, like it adds another thing. Like Fallout 4 came out at 2014. It's 2025, so that's already 11 years from Fallout 4. And then how far out is Fallout 5 from Elder Scrolls 6? That's the reason why I'm looking at it like, hey, I think people are gonna be. I can't imagine Elder Scrolls 6 being any longer than more than 2 years. I could accept 2 years if the game's good. But I think there is a chance that it's going to be dropped by November of this year. And again, I might be completely off. Because there's been no indication of, there's rumors, there's people, I think Phil Spencer talked about this game's this year, this so long away, but like, God, man, no, it can't be more than 2 years, because if it is, dude, that's gonna be insane. It's gonna be 2028 by 3 years, and I'm gonna be freaking 29 when I would be 29 by the time Elder Scrolls 6 came out. I was 13. I was 13 years old when Skyrim came out. I am a grown-ass man. That I just like I don't see how that's even possible. It's like unreal. If you told my 13-year-old self, "Hey, dude, there's only going to be like 3 DLCs for Skyrim." And then, "Hey, bro, you're going to have to wait till you're like 30 years old to play the next one." What? I'd be like, what the fuck? Well, sorry for my language, but seriously, what the fuck? It's inexcusable if the game's not great. And again, I would have zero trust in Todd Howard ever again. The silver lining between what I just said, though, is I really liked the Indiana Jones game. But I think it was because they knew the identity. They knew it. They knew Indiana Jones. Todd Howard knew what he wanted. And you look at Starfield, and I feel like they created there's a canvas, like a painting, where they didn't know what the hell they were making. It was just like, okay, Indiana Jones, you have to paint in you have to create the details in the character. You have to have, you have an idea of what the person looks like. Starfield, there's no idea. You're creating everything. In Elder Scrolls 6, the good news is that there's a pre-written canvas, a pre-drawn canvas that they kind of have to fill in the spaces in between, but everything kind of is supposed to connect. So that's the reason why if Elder Scrolls 6 sucks, that is completely on the directing of Todd Howard. And then that makes you question anything else that he's going to do later on if they can't get Elder Scrolls right. If I had to bet on anything they could get right, it's Elder Scrolls. And if they can't get that right, it's done. I'm done with them. And I don't think that's unfair for me to say. I think that's completely reasonable. And I think other people would agree. But, tell me what you guys think. I mean, is the, Starfield expansion / update, Fallout expansion for 76, and Season 2 Fallout, that's more Bethesda stuff. And then, Oblivion, a shadow drop with an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. Does that seem reasonable? Like, am I crazy? Because I feel like that's just common sense. They're for sure, I think, going to show Starfield. I can't imagine them not. They're for sure going to show. I would think this would be a perfect time to show Fallout Season 2 with a 76 expansion. We know they keep doing that. Oh, and Elder Scrolls Online. They're going to show Elder Scrolls Online. I can't imagine June passing and us not seeing Oblivion at least. I for sure think Oblivion Remastered's there. But is it unreasonable for me to think that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be shown? Let me know what you guys think, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think it would just make sense. Again, I might be crazy. I'm not gonna act like I have any inside information because I don't. But again, let me know what you guys think. I mean, am I crazy for this? Am I crazy or not? But again, my name's Hunter. This is like the first video on this channel that I made, and I'm hoping that it can continue. I'm planning on streaming. I'll put in my stream information, my Twitch, in the bio or the information description, and please comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys can, I'm not, I don't want to force this down anybody's throat, but please like and share. Share it definitely if you guys are comfortable, because liking, I think, would definitely help regardless. But share this if what I'm saying makes sense, or if just get people involved in this conversation in some capacity, and let's put the pressure on Microsoft and Bethesda to be like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why is, like, no. Microsoft with this exclusive stuff, again, this is a completely different conversation, but they need to let us know what the point of having an Xbox is, because I could just get Xbox Game Pass on my PC, and then they're going to probably add Xbox Game Pass or whatever else. And again, this is a completely different conversation, but yeah, please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.